Why is it all being destroyed? Hi there, crypto fan Stick Allgire here in the beautiful islands, beautiful Hawaiian Islands. Why is it all being destroyed? If you just look around, if you just look at the news and you're paying any attention at all, you can see that everything's being dismantled and destroyed. And why is that? We just had a long discussion about that yesterday on our private site, and I want to encapsulate it as like 4 to 5 minutes about where we've been and where we're going, a little historical perspective, and then a look at where we're headed. I begin with an oil painting that was produced in 1872 called American Progress. This depicts what they call manifest destiny, the concept that European white Americans would conquer the entire continent from east to west. So what you see here is the woman floating above the continent, and that is Columbia. Very interesting name. If that's a rabbit hole, you can dig deep and follow those trails. Columbia. She's wearing the Star of the Empire on her forehead. She has a school book in one hand, and she's also holding a telegraph wire. This is information technology in the late 1800s. What you see depicted here is progress from east to west, with the new dawn illuminating the east and the darkness being chased out in the west, being pushed back. You see trains, wagons, settlers, farmers taking over the continent as the indigenous people in the buffalo flee to the west. This is a Freemasonic illustration of manifest destiny, and it was the Freemasons who organized the United States and who were very instrumental in administering it. Now, I'm not saying this in a negative way. The founding fathers were Freemasons, and Freemasons have had the job of administering nation states and administering civilization. Now, I'm not a Freemason. I don't claim to be one. I know a few, and I was thinking of maybe joining if I had the time. But Freemasons have been very instrumental in designing architecture that uses the magic of energy to harness energy of cities. They've done quite a job. Interesting organization, the Freemasons. But that was their depiction of manifest destiny. So we're to a point where nation states are no longer needed, and nation states were basically a business formation, a way to group humans underneath a larger business structure so that they could have some way to bond and some form of kinship, a national anthem, a common currency, songs and anthems, uniforms, and they would bond together, and it would help progress. Some of them were formed as democracies. Some were maintained as dictatorships if people needed a little harder, iron fist to run things. Some were run as constitutional monarchies, and some have been used democratic socialism, but they're all nation states. And nation states often have very similar symbols. If you look at the Statue of Liberty, and Americans think the Statue of Liberty is unique to America, Lady Liberty, there she is. But if you look at Great Britain, they have Britannia, which is basically the same thing. The French Revolution was organized under the image of a strong woman. Same thing. There's one in Austria. There's one in Italy called Italia. All of these are Athena, the war goddess, which is a symbol of who's really running things since way back in ancient times. It goes way, way back. So we're coming to a time where nation states are no longer needed, and as I said, it's all being torn down. And if you are paying any attention at all, you can see this. You can see cities being destroyed before your eyes. You can see new populations being brought in as fast as they can ship them in and welcome them. You see the rule of law ending. You see the dismantling of the economy. And you see faith in institutions just being absolutely destroyed. This is all for a reason, because nation states are no longer needed. Those are governmental constructs that are no longer needed as technology advances and we come to AI as a way to run things, as we come to blockchain distributed ledger technology as a way to do the bookkeeping of human civilization. Nation states were a way to run the business and do the bookkeeping. You had counties within the nation states where they did the counting. And now it's all going to be done on blockchain, and nation states are no longer needed. So you're seeing it all being torn down. If this type of information is of interest to you, we just had a long 2-hour conversation on these topics at our private site, futureforecastinggroup.com, with a Freemason and then someone else who is extremely knowledgeable of how things are administered. And we had a wide-ranging discussion, the three of us, over 2 hours. Fascinating, one of our best discussions yet. Founder-level conversation with friends. We also have a new video coming out tomorrow. It hits on Friday, September 8th. This is September already. Friday, September 8th. Bob Lazar, remote viewing Bob Lazar. We were given a blind target. It was Bob Lazar, the guy that claimed he was working on reverse engineering UFOs in the Nevada desert. Our remote viewing data was spectacular. We showed it to one of the leading UFO researchers, Richard Dolan. He had his mind blown. He looked at our data and his jaw was just dropping all over the place. That comes out on Friday. Friday morning, you'll be able to see it at the $25 level. Support our group, support our great remote viewers. See it soon. Manifest destiny. It's destiny. It's manifest. Aloha from Hawaii.